Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Cassidy Show. So life has been bliss lately. I actually went on a solo weekend away to Dangar Island. It was divine. I would highly recommend going on solo weekends away. The general response was from women anyway, saying that it was nice to be reminded not to wait for like a man or for friends to be available. So I did that and it was so relaxing. I came back on the Sunday feeling very, very refreshed. So if you're feeling a little bit run down, stressed, tired, sick of the world, book yourself a little mini weekend away. I highly recommend it. And like I live in like the eastern suburbs of Sydney. I just went to Dangar Island, which is maybe an hour and 15 minutes north of Sydney. It doesn't have to be far. And it was so quiet and quaint and cozy and just, it was lovely. But anyway, that's what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. I also got a housemate, which is so exciting. Speaking of housemate, that housemate is also today's guest. So Krystal, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to introducing her. She's 28 years old, but I swear she's lived 10 lives in that 28 years. She was born into the Jehovah's Witness program, for lack of a better word. She's been married and divorced. She has come out as bisexual. She can also speak on toxic relationships, how to pick up toxic traits in men early on in the dating phase. So I'm super excited for today's episode. I think there is a lot to take in, but there is a lot to learn and hear from Krystal. So I'm really excited to sort of delve in a bit deeper. For those that aren't aware, Krystal is my best friend. And like I said, she's now my housemate. And there's also things that I don't even know a whole lot on today that I'm going to be learning with you guys as well. So there's a lot to learn and hear from, and I'm really excited. So let's do it.
Hey, this is hot.
So
I sound good.
Yeah. Not problematic at all.
No.
You like
I
that intro?
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get you to send it to me later. Put it on my resume.
Just soundbite it.
Yeah.
Set it as your ringtone.
I really liked it.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I mean,
you made me sound better than what I actually am, for sure, which is alarming.
We're just touching on a few light topics today. It's no big deal.
Easy.
No big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, how are you? Excited to be on the Cassidy Show?
I'm so excited. About time you got someone good on here. No, I'm kidding. You can actually bleep that out, right? I was just kidding.
No, we will not be.
We will be.
Just had the nod of approval from my videographer. We're not bleeping that out. How are you feeling? Are you excited? You nervous? I wouldn't say we're airing your dirty laundry, but like we're divulging a lot of shit today.
There's also a very niche group of people that will be able to relate to these topics. So this is a huge call from you. First of all, the fact that you think this is gonna pop off.
I mean,
you're like,
I say grab the fucking popcorn.
Yeah.
Your life isn't even just one movie. It's like 3 sequels.
I'm moving to the south of France and I'm gonna write a book.
The South of France don't want you.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, so let's take it back to when we met, because believe it or not, we've only known each other for like 18 months.
And do you know, people always get so surprised when they say that. They're like, so how long have you and Cass been friends for? And
It's the crackhead energy.
I met her like over a year ago, and they're like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh yeah, no, we're not related or anything.
That one faithful night at, what was it, Little Jack Horner in Coogee. Oh, God, some shit happened that night.
That was a big night.
Yeah. It was a fun night because it means I met you.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I have a video on my phone from the night we met of you
doing what?
Twerking up against a wall on a couch.
That checks out.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how we met. We met on a night out through
literally
a group
just
of
two drunk dumb bitches being like.
And your husband at the time was like, oh, for the love of God, there's 2 of them.
Oh yeah, like the actual scare in his face was just like, oh no, we've got to leave. we've got, this is a terror. He just starts packing his shit back up.
Back to New Zealand you go, baby.
Not a chance.
Fucking out of here. The fear on his face when we were like, oh, I think I've just met the love of my life.
Yeah. And then the follow through as well, which was even scarier, you know, because so many girls meet each other out and they're like, oh, we're hanging out again. And you're like, yeah. And I'm guilty for that all the time.
The amount of like, oh my God, let's do brunch tomorrow.
Yes.
That never happened.
Exactly.
Every promise we made to each other the night we met.
We literally did.
We've done.
Which is actually crackhead energy.
We probably would have also joked about like moving in together. Let's dive into, I feel like I'm like a therapist. Let's dive into your childhood.
I know, this is just us on a Tuesday night anyway.
Yeah.
So we've just
no big deal.
good lighting and camera.
Childhood. Baby Krys.
Oh, you know, lovely.
Any defining moments, any interesting things that might have happened?
Super normal. I was, you know,
I
was really liked.
You weren't born into anything?
I had the unfortunate pleasure.
Oh, about that. Yeah. About that.
You know what? Yeah, I may have missed out on a few birthdays.
She was a Jehovah's Witness.
I'm like, wait, how do I sound normal by saying that? Every time I say that, people are like, what do you mean? But you're so normal.
I had to Google this morning, what is a Jehovah's Witness?
I've kind of blocked it all out. So you're going to have to read that out for me too.
I heard a lot about the truth.
The truth. And then when you said that this morning, I was like, oh, that's a trigger word.
Yeah. So you were born into it.
Yes.
And how, like, so what do you mean you don't get to celebrate birthdays or Christmases or Easter or anything like that?
There's like a whole thing, and the list goes on as to like what you can't do. But basically it's a community of people.
So not a program?
I mean,
is it a cult?
No, you can't say, you can't accuse people of being in a cult.
But, a cult's illegal? Is the Jehovah's Witness program?
It's legal.
Is it legal?
Oh, you know what? In some countries it is illegal to practice being a Jehovah's Witness. Like a lot of places in the Middle East, I'm pretty sure. Like you will go to prison.
Is it because of the door knocking?
Might be because it's just fucking everybody off. People are just trying to sleep in on a Saturday morning.
Get the fuck off my front doorstep.
Big summer blowout. And it's just me with some underwhelming fucking magazine and just to like, I don't know, be a better person.
Just tell them about the truth. So primary school, going to school, not celebrating birthdays or Christmas.
Dude, it was so hard. Like, literally.
What do you mean? When kids are like, what'd you get for your birthday?
You know what? I was such a loser. When I was younger, I used to like pretend. I'd be like, oh, I got this and that. Because I was like, fuck that. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to say no, I didn't get anything because I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Maybe when I was like real young and you know how you have like no filter.
Don't know how to lie.
You don't care. And in fact, I went even further. I would go in and I would
Doesn't
be
sound
like,
like you.
No, it's not like me at all. And I would go in and I would tell the other kids how if they don't get on my side of the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're going to die. And I got pulled into the principal's offices like a couple of times with my Bible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because that's a part of it. Like there's no afterlife. It's not like Christianity where they're like you go to heaven or you go to hell.
You know what? It's so and then it gets very technical because then there are a select few that get to go to heaven. I know. This is what I mean, and I'm not
Sounds like
the
there's
right
a few
person.
double standards in the Jehovah's Witness program.
Person to be talking to about it because I'm not too educated on it.
Well, I mean, you would never go into heaven.
I mean, you know, I may have got a toe in.
Because they talk about in what fucking world? Because from what I read, it was something like your soul leaves your body the second you're dead. It's morbid as fuck, man.
Yeah, no, that was hit home. Like when you're dead, you're dead. And I still live by that.
Well, I mean, you have no soul, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I lost my soul a long time ago. So it makes sense.
Holy fuck.
So it's just, there are different, this is going to sound so bad because I'm really bad at explaining the whole Jehovah's Witness program. You've got me saying it. And like in terms of like, they have like a select few that go to heaven. And then the rest of us, mere mortals, We get
burn in hell.
You look, do you like how I'm talking like we? I have no right.
We.
I have no right. I have no right using that term.
You tapped out years ago.
The people that aren't going to heaven just believe in like getting resurrected and going to paradise, which I suppose is like a type of heaven.
That's kind of
so
nice.
that's like when the earth, once Armageddon has come.
Armageddon, that's another.
And how scary is that? Like being a kid and being told like, have a good day, sweetie, but remember Armageddon. Like that's fucked.
And don't forget to tell the kids at school.
Yeah. Oh my god. And don't worry.
Is it like
make two girls?
Is
cry
it like
at
a
least.
KPI situation where like the more you sign on,
Oh yeah, the better. Yeah, the better perks.
the better
you're gonna
chance
get.
you get of going to heaven?
Exactly. Like
Oh,
your grapes are going to be bigger or something in paradise. like you get the better fruit. You get a goat on arrival or some shit. Oh no, this is bad. I shouldn't be making fun of it. And I do respect because you know what? It brings a lot of people joy as well. You can't, just because I've had a bad experience doesn't mean it doesn't work for other people. I still have family that are Jehovah's Witnesses, man. Like they're good people. They're nice people.
Yeah,
Should put that in there.
they're nice people. No, anyway. So childhood as a Jehovah's Witness.
Just very isolating because you're so different from what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And so no wonder why I'm so fucked up.
I mean, we'll get to that.
I mean, you have no excuse, but
I mean, I got a couple. I haven't
you do.
divulged my childhood trauma, but I got some shit
Let's
under
talk
the
about
hood.
that.
Let's not. That's not enough time in the world. So Jehovah's Witness, up until the point that, well, actually, I was going to say you don't really know life any different, but that's a fucking lie because you go to school with kids who get to celebrate their birthday
and my
Christmas.
dad wasn't as well.
Oh yeah, your dad was loose in the best way.
Oh, dude, my dad is cooked, like well and truly cooked.
In the best way.
And I can't believe that he was married to that my mum was married to him. Like, I still can't believe that, which is
Your mum
really
went
funny.
rogue.
Yeah.
You're a little Jehovah's Witness kid, scaring
cute.
kids at school, telling them they're going to die in Armageddon.
Yeah, nice.
Is that where the childhood trauma ended?
That's Dream Girl that you just described.
So we didn't lose a parent or anything as a child either?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we lost
cool.
one. We lost one in the
Your mum died from
Yeah.
cancer. How
Yeah.
old were you?
14.
14. So
Yeah. Just some light work, some light head noise, you know.
I feel like we should also preface both of our coping mechanisms are humor and dark humor at that. So
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've just talked about like how we got a dog or something and we're like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Mum died at 14 from
Yeah.
cancer, but no big deal.
That's fine.
Yeah. Your mum died at 14 and your mum was the reason you were in the program
Yes, yeah.
because you were born into it, but your mum, because you've got 4 siblings, there's 5 of you. She's a breeder.
Yes.
So when your mum passed away, was your dad still in the program?
No, he's never been in it.
He's never been. So your dad's never been in the
never
Jehovah's
been in
Witness
it.
program.
He got banned. He did some stuff.
I don't want to know.
No, he
I
shouldn't.
don't want to know.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, we probably can't even talk about it either.
No, we can't.
So when your mum passed away, did you leave the? Oh my god, I almost went to call it a cult.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to really cut that out. I have family still in that who, for the love of God, will never see this anyway. Thank goodness.
Yeah, when your mum passed away, did you leave the program?
Not straight away because my sister. I was going to say my sister at the time. That's so wild. My sister. She's still my sister.
Still
my sister. She was my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
Like, ride or die. That was like, she was essentially like my second mum.
Yeah.
And so she was and is still very into it, which is, again, I try remain respectful. I'm going to, she's.
I mean, yeah, we're being respectful.
Yeah.
It's interesting hearing
It's
about.
it's just our opinion and that's fine. Like, she
Yeah.
knows
I mean, I have no opinion on Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
All I knew them as door knockers.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Super
you're trying to
fun,
sell
by the
me.
way. Yeah.
I had
The good life.
I had no idea it had anything to do with warning me about the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, it's because we like bring that in like maybe episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, you just slip that in later. Sell them with the big grapes and the goats on entry. Armageddon doesn't come in till later. Right, gotcha. Yeah. So you didn't leave because you were really close with your sister who
and I
was
didn't want
and
to
still
disappoint
is.
her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so I played both sides for maybe a few years. So this was also when I'm in high school. And so, you know, I'm still trying to hang out with my high school friends, do the normal stuff. And I have a little bit more leeway now because obviously I don't have like a strict parent anymore.
Yeah.
And at that time I was, I don't know, rebelling. I just lost a parent.
Yeah.
I'm not processing things. I want to go out and party. I want to go and like have fun with my friends, be a kid, basically. But
and like you've got time to catch up on as well.
Yeah, and I still felt like super guilty about like I could never really fully enjoy my high school experience because if I would be out at a party or like in a paddock at bloody 2 a.m. vomiting my brains out, I would still be like. It'd be in the back of my mind always. Whereas like all my other friends are just like, oh, this is fucking
letting loose.
Yeah, this is light work.
What does a day in the life of a Jehovah's Witness look like, or a weekend?
You get up, you say your blessings. Yep.
Nice.
And then on Saturdays, well, this is what it used to be like. Like I'm way out of the game. Like I have no idea what it's like now, and COVID's probably changed a bunch of it as well. So I'm pretty sure they can't go door knocking anymore. But like Saturday morning was like door knocking. Dude, and I used to hate it. Because chances are I've got anxiety. I'm hiding in a bush, not like trying to hide from Patricia in fucking art class. And Mum's like giving me a handbook to be like, come on, you can do it. And then I was always a sucker for a donut afterwards. So she was like, you get a donut afterwards if you like go and knock on the store. So this fat bitch was like straight up there, fucking like shoulder charging my little brother. Like, I want to get this person to heaven first. I'm getting that motherfucking donut.
That KPIs program comes
exactly.
in handy.
I know. And so, you know, I was always a goals girl.
Yeah. She's goals orientated and driven.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it would just be like you go out for a couple hours, you get given like a area of
So it's kind of like the paper route when you deliver junk mail.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
And you go in like groups. And so you just like buddy up. I mean, I was a kid, so I always like, it was always
kind of like fun.
Fun because like me and my little brother would be out like, I don't know, harassing each other on the street. Being scoundrels, exactly.
Word of the week.
Yep, exactly. And then, I don't know, that was my normal. Like I didn't know anything different.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would have mad anxiety about would be like seeing somebody that I knew. And I think
bumping into friends at school or like knocking on someone at school's door.
And the amount of times that it happened as well. And I would be like,
so what do you say to them? You're like, hey, you want to join my program?
No, I didn't speak. I would just be like,
hold the Bible at them?
I would be like, cookie? I'm not Jehovah's Witness.
I just hand out the snacks.
Yeah, exactly. No way. So yeah, that was some huge character building. I was so shy, and I feel like that did it. I used to be like an annoying kid, and then I got super shy and mute. It's because I was traumatized.
So what did Saturday nights like? Did you eat dinner together? Did you have to eat dinner together? Like what does a nighttime look like, or is it all pretty normal?
Witnesses?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a normal, although we weren't allowed to watch like anything with like, you know, magic or, because it was like, I don't know why. Because this is what I mean.
What do you mean magic?
Like I would never be allowed to watch Harry Potter or like anything.
Have you seen Harry Potter?
Yeah, I fucking love Harry Potter.
Okay.
Well, again, I'm playing catch up.
Yeah. Wizards of Waverly Place, it was a staple in childhood.
I loved Wizards of Waverly Place and was just like, I was never allowed to, even like music videos, I wasn't allowed to watch.
Well, I mean, most music videos are pretty like sexual. And is that another thing? Are you meant to save yourself till marriage?
Yes. And that's another thing. And you know what? Even though like mum died when I was 14, all my friends like lost their virginity when they were like, you know, around about 15, 14, whatever.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like I never had that same experience as like a yeah, I want to lose my virginity. Like it wasn't in me. I
Well,
was
because
never
you
thinking
weren't
about
really
sex.
exposed. Well, I
No.
guess you kind of were because your friends at school were losing their virginity. But
Yeah,
how old were you when you lost your virginity?
19 to my ex-husband.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I mean, we didn't obviously save it till marriage, but I ended up marrying the person I lost my virginity to, which brings me to, like, I feel like that type of, not even morals, but I don't know, it was kind of like engraved in my brain. Like that's was really important to me.
Yeah, that was what was meant to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And that was always like put up on a pedestal, and it was like, it wasn't normal. Like, you know, me and my Jehovah's Witness friends, it was like never normal for us. Like, we dated guys and we like hooked up with guys, and it was like, I was boy crazy. Like, I'd go through guys, like a new one every like month when I was in the witness
But always
program.
just like kissing, never.
Yeah, but always just kissing, like never anything else.
Yeah.
And it didn't even like cross my mind until actually one witness guy did ask me to have sex with him. And I was so taken aback. I was like, oh God, no.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah. And then we broke up. In fact, he broke up with me, I think.
Because you wouldn't have sex with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I was
nice.
like, yeah, nice.
Men.
Those boundaries.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Yeah. So you were obviously married and you met him when you were how old?
19.
19. So you met him at 19, lost your virginity to him, and then went on to marry him. How?
I mean, there were a few hiccups in the road, but you know, yes.
The engagement might or
Long
might
story
not
short,
have been called off.
yes. Yeah.
So how long were you together for? All together?
Me and my ex. Almost, like, it was over 9 years, almost 10 years.
Yeah. And how long were you married for?
You know, just shy, 1 week shy of a year. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard.
It's a good innings.
Yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
You know, there were some mistakes that a bit, yeah.
It's a tricky topic to navigate Krystal's marriage
Sharing too much.
because I want to remain respectful of her ex-husband. I met him the night that I met Krystal because you were still married and still...
Yeah, well, I was married when I met you.
Yeah. They were married when we met and they got divorced. How long? Well, separated. How long ago? Like 5 months ago?
Back in October. So that's like almost 7 months. More than 7
Yeah,
months.
right. It's tricky because I don't want to overstep. I met them together and knew both of them together, but obviously Krystal and I were, the moment we met, were just like joined at the hip, and her ex-husband had some issues with our friendship, which was always hard because it was like a jealousy, if you will. And I guess with that had to do with your sexuality because you're bisexual.
Yes. And it was kind of like sad to us. Like, I think at the time
I was heartbroken that he as much as I loved him and I thought he was so funny and he was the best guy in the world, he just fucking hated me. Like, deep down he just hated me, and that it like broke my heart. And even when you guys were separated and the bad things happened, I still tried to remain Switzerland to a degree. And it just, it broke my heart that no matter what I did, I would never do anything right in his eyes. He just hated me, and he was adamant you were in love with me.
And it was sad because, like, I had just moved here. I knew nobody here.
Yeah.
And you were the first person that I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is my kind of person.
I was the first friend that you had made outside of him and his group.
That's the thing. Yeah. It was
Which
very
was kind of-
isolating. Yeah.
And so I think that was another thing that he had issue with, was because he was losing that little bit of like control over your circle, because we would want to hang out alone and go to dinners together alone so it was hard to navigate, but I think your sexuality was like a big issue for him. So
Yeah.
speaking on that, when did you come out as bi? Was it recent or?
I mean, you know what? There are still so many people that wouldn't know. So it's about now. Yeah.
So if we're really touching on it, I think you told your
I told my
ex-husband 9 years ago.
Well, no, there were some kind of situations that happened that like we went through that together.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still, again, I tell you all the time, I feel like the worst bi person because it's like when I date, it's always men.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, if I'm out, I'm attracted to men.
Yeah.
But I know that I have that in me.
Yeah. You have that curiosity.
Go the other way.
Yeah.
But it's like.
So when did you come out to him?
Timeline, I'm going to say I probably would have been around like the 22-year-old mark. Yeah. So like a long time ago.
And then who was the next person that you told?
You.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
there's that one. So, there's just, but that's a lot of, like, again, touching on my upbringing and a lot of, like.
Growing up in New Zealand.
Yeah. And it was just kind of
more
like.
conservative.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
not as progressive.
really. And nobody, like, never, like, ever flat out asked me.
Yeah.
And, like, people, like, joke about, like, throw the word lesbian around this and that. And it's like, well, I'm not a lesbian. So I'm not going to flat out be like, yeah, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
Because.
But like it also would have been hard because it's not necessarily accepted, especially back then, like years ago. Like it would have been really hard to hear like derogatory terms towards gay people as well.
Yeah. Well, and then there's that stigma of like, you're like bisexual, like, oh my God, are you attracted to me?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that makes me feel like people will look at me differently or like hang out with me differently or do like, which is annoying, but it just means that you're not with the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess, it is that risk that you run because people just automatically think, which is strange because when you told me you were bisexual, I never once thought that.
No, I know. Well, because you're normal.
Yeah, it's never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like, and I still get naked in front of you now. Like,
I know.
it's just, it's so weird that people, it's so small-minded because it's like, well, cool. Do you automatically assume, like, if you're straight, do you automatically assume that, like every man
person wants you?
Every man wants to fuck you? It's like, come on, like, let's get a grip here.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm still, like, coming to terms of, like, what I actually want.
Well, I mean, you were in a relationship for 9 years with a man and obviously throughout that relationship you had breaks and things like that where you experimented. But like now is sort of the time where you're in a city where it's much more widely accepted.
Yeah, for sure.
You're in like a safe environment with friends who are a lot more open and accepting of it. And that's not to say that your friends back home weren't accepting. They just didn't know.
Just different. Like
and you're in an environment where you grew up in as a Jehovah's Witness where it was
that's
like
a thing.
It just wasn't a safe space there.
Yeah.
So at least now like you're in a position where you can explore more and
and then and like my friends, like I have like a very close knit group of friends who I would like be comfortable. It's just like all of this has kind of come undone as I've been living here. And so much has happened and I've grown so much. And then I don't want to like fly back home and for like literally for one of my best friends to have a baby and then be like, oh, by the way, there's this like huge thing about me. Like, it was just, for me, it was never a right time. I don't know. And I'm not that type of person to be like, hey, I'm going to announce something about myself.
Yeah.
It's just.
Because it's just a part, because it's like, well, we don't, when we're born, we're not like, hey, I'm straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you don't feel like the need to announce it.
Yeah.
It'll just like pop up. Like, I mean, it's a good conversation starter.
But you're divorced and you're now living in eastern suburbs of Sydney and dating after married life. How's that going for you?
Oh, you know what? It's just never a dull moment.
It's so much fun being a single girl.
It's just so much fun.
Oh, love it.
Love it. It's just, you know what? Left, right and centre. Just
well, they can't.
Lessons. Just so many fucking lessons, dude. Like, I'm all caught up.
Sydney men being lessons? No.
Oh, fucking dead. I'm well educated. It's only been how long? 7 months post.
7 months and
post
you've been.
breakup. And I've experienced, I mean, I definitely obviously have a type. It's the guys that
They all get jealous of me.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that?
But I feel like, and then I start asking myself, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing to make
Is
them
it
feel
me?
so?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
I think I am. No, it's just they start to lose their minds.
Yeah.
And they get this weird controlling.
It's not. It's like it's literally. And one of them, I see. Again, I want to maintain respectful, but like that thing that got me was one of them was like, it's like using drugs, and I was like, what fucking drugs are you taking?
Yeah,
like
can we say he was referring to spending time with you and having sex with you was like being on drugs.
Sure. I mean,
so basically, Krystal's like having MDMA.
Yeah. Basically, write that down. Can that be the title of this episode?
Big reach.
Yeah,
that.
Huge. I've never felt that level of connection with. I mean, I did obviously with my ex-husband.
Yeah. But you lost that.
But you lost. Yeah, I lost that. But I've experienced it. I know what it should feel like.
Yeah.
Like I know what it feels like to literally find like your soulmate.
Yeah.
And to have that feeling.
Yeah.
But that feels,
So now, like, when you're dating, it's kind of hard for you because you do know pretty early on, like,
what that should feel like.
Yeah, and if it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah. And also, I've kind of been through too much where I'm like, you literally could do one thing and I'm ghosting you.
Yeah.
Never see me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just one screenshot of a previous conversation and you're done.
You're done.
Don't fucking tell me what I said.
I said what I said.
These boys coming through with receipts.
Oh, fuck. It's literally the worst. And if that's not the worst thing you could do, by the way, that is quite literally the worst thing you could do.
I mean, but although I don't send screenshots, but I am the kind of bitch that's like, well, that's not what you said like 2 weeks ago on Tuesday night. Like,
oh, we'll see, this fucking goldfish
Yeah.
doesn't remember shit.
Remember how Togai's always like, fuck, you remember everything. And
You
I'm like,
literally do though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't lie to her.
no.
Dear God, don't lie to her.
He learnt that on so early on.
Yeah.
Back to dating. What have you found that you've dabbled in when it comes to dating, like age wise?
I mean, I just went to dinner with, I'm going to make myself sound better first before it gets worse. I just went to dinner with a 37-year-old. Yeah.
Lovely.
And so lush, like such a beautiful man.
So handsome.
So beautiful. And like
Divine.
fucking way too good for me. I don't know what the fuck he's doing running around with this hoodlum who literally, like, it's the fact that I'm emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, it
all
really
of a sudden,
is. Honestly,
all of a sudden.
the best pickup is to be emotionally unavailable because the men that are just coming for you now. But anyway, so
ranges from 37.
So Wonder Man is 37.
Mm-hmm.
What's the age gap between him and the last guy that you went on a date with?
22.
So 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
Just quick math on that one.
But again, the 22-year-old's so lovely.
Oh my God. He's a is it Cillian Murphy or Killian Murphy?
Yeah. Is it Killian or Cillian? The way you pronounce his name. Do you know who he is? The Thomas Shelby Peaky Blinders guy?
Anyway, Killian Murphy, Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
But
a 22-year-old version.
Fuck me sideways.
And French. Whew, oui, oui.
What is it with these French boys?
I don't know.
Oh my God. He served us at a restaurant and
Me and you, I mean, you were worse than me. I pointed him out and I was like.
Yeah, because I never like go with like eyes. I'm like a very like one track mind. Like when I'm sleeping with someone, whether we're dating, exclusive, not exclusive, I'm like a one track mind girl.
Just
I'm
like straight and narrow.
I'm blindly loyal and to a fault, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So I walked in, I didn't even notice him, and Krystal was like, "Oi, look at the waiter," and I like looked up and I was like.
Yeah, and you were just not subtle.
Oh,
at all. To the point where I was like, why the fuck did I tell you? Like,
and when he like came over to like bring me my drink, I was like, thanks. But
whereas me, I'm ignoring him. Like,
yeah, no. When you've got like, because there was like a group of us at the table, but when you've got dipshit here that's like. And then you've got fucking Miss Cool Girl over there. I wonder which one he's going to choose. Not that I was throwing my hat in the ring, but I fucking wouldn't choose me. I'm dumb as dog shit when it comes to men. Fuck.
I did smile at him.
My tongue dried out because I didn't close my mouth for that long. It was disgusting. This guy is God's gift to earth. He might be 22 and he's a little small.
Oh, yeah. He's like smaller
Small
than what
but
I would
mighty.
normally, go for. But I didn't even notice because holy he's the best looking person I've ever seen in my fucking life. Of course I don't care how fucking tall you are.
Oh.
You're coming home with me.
You're coming home with me. Oh, so fucking hot.
I know.
But I don't know. I think there's something fun about the younger ones. Like
There's like something cute. Like there's like
I think I don't know whether it's the emotional unavailability because like obviously I was seeing a guy at the end of last year who was 23.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We loved him.
We do.
Oh,
we still do.
We still do.
Let's get him over.
He's
Let's
great.
get him on the podcast. I miss him.
We're on fabulous terms.
Yeah. He's seen some shit too.
Oh, God.
He went right through the breakup with us.
So I was seeing him when Krystal was leaving her husband.
Yeah.
And boy, did that guy see some shit. And he was just wonderful through
he
that.
just handled it so well.
Honestly, the young guys need to get more credit because they really are great.
Yeah.
Although we fucking say that. And then the guy before him who was also young, I have a track record. Remember what do we call him? We call him Fat Neck. My sister calls him Fat Neck.
Oh, yeah.
Messages me on my dad's anniversary being like, hey, want to hang out tonight?
Because
Like,
that guy's just a shit cunt.
like booty calling me on my dad's anniversary. And I checked to see if he'd seen my story disclosing that it was my dad's anniversary. Yep, he just happened to be up the top of the views. And I was like,
cool.
So I don't reply. He unfollows me. After nearly 2 years of us having like a pretty civil relationship because we slept together for like a year after me and my ex broke up.
Buddies.
Yeah, it was like a really good situation. But like his age really came out because he's what, 23, 24? No, 23. But yeah, the young ones there, I think I like the younger guys because I feel more in control as well.
I'm so obsessed with the young one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come back.
Because I feel like I'm out of sorts with Toe Guy.
Yeah, because they know too much. It's almost like
he fucking knows way too much.
Yeah, they know too much.
Like,
and they know. Yeah, they almost give you advice. Whereas, like, when you're the older one, you're
the
giving
wise
them
one.
advice.
Yeah.
And they're looking up to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, yep, I know shit.
It's a real toxic situation. Like
it's probably not healthy.
I mean, I'm going to preface that, though, by saying I don't actively seek out younger guys when...
It just happens.
Pardon me. When I met... What are we going to call the last one? What did we call him? Mullet Man? Yeah. When I met Mullet Man, I did not realize he was 23. And I almost didn't go on the first date. Actually, I really didn't want to go on the first date.
I remember.
I think I was like slightly hungover and I'd like confirmed it and then I got really drunk the night before and then I was slightly hungover. I get to the fucking coffee shop and that motherfucker's half an hour late. And I like stormed off to one of my friends at a different cafe and he had to like talk me back off the ledge because I was like, fuck this. I didn't even want to come on this stupid fucking date with this guy anyway.
Yeah.
Turns out he was like magic.
Oh, yeah, he was. Just like a sweet, sweet soul.
He was just so calming. We have names for every single man in our life.
Well, you know what? This is funny. And this is, again, like I kind of fell into this trap because...
So Scuba Steve was who she rebounded with after her after her marriage, divorce.
Yeah, no. I mean, there were a couple of rebounds, but like very like casual and quick and it ended.
Oh, yeah, New Year's Eve.
Yes. Yeah, dear God, let's just quickly bypass that one. Yeah,
did you? Because I know that Scuba Steve wanted to go on dates with you because that was escalating very fast.
Yeah, no, it was like at first I thought I was being smarter and I was like, look, I don't want a relationship. This is what it is, and it's very hard, by the way.
Yeah,
to be a single like. And this, I don't even give a fuck. This sounds bad, but like, I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't want a relationship. I just wanted something like good, casual, and regular.
It's pretty understandable that you don't want a relationship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, read the fucking room. Like, no, I don't want a relationship. But then, yes, this person.
But you guys did connect.
We did.
Like you connected, and the more time in the beginning, like the more time you spent together, the better it was going. But in saying that,
it was
the
like
faster
beautiful
it was going.
In the very beginning, I was like, this guy's amazing. Like, so calm.
Yeah.
Mostly like not even calm, just like a bit dead inside.
Yeah.
And I was like so attracted to that.
We love a man with no soul.
Yeah, I was so attracted to that because I was so used to like the opposite of that. And so I kind of fell into the trap of like, wow, this is so different. This like feels good.
Yeah. Not toxic at all.
Not
super
toxic.
secure.
Like literally like the best sex I've ever had as well. So that was a trap because I really got like a bit clouded by that.
Yeah.
Super clouded.
You fell into the dick sand.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And I just couldn't
claw your way out. Although I don't even think you really wanted to. You were happy to die on that hill.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm good here.
Yeah.
Just bring me some snacks here and there. I'm fine. And so, yeah, I did, Mike. I got a bit blinded by that. But then towards the end, and it was like, I was just being me and I was still behaving how I would behave as I was single. And I technically was. Like, we were never in a relationship.
Yeah.
And
you did clarify that as well.
My communication was, and remember we got so proud of my communication with
that
this
was one thing, because in your marriage, like it was quite hard to communicate with anything that he didn't necessarily agree with.
But that was on me as well. Like, I was really bad at communicating.
You were, but then if you ever brought anything up that he didn't necessarily agree with, it was always...
Yeah, it was just
always turned into a fight or something. And it really stunted you in terms of communicating with an intimate partner, because at the start of your, like, I guess, relationship with Scuba Steve, like, I had to like coach you through when you were explaining, because you had no problems explaining to me how you were feeling. But when I would ask you, like, have you communicated this with him? You're like, oh God, no. And I'm like, try it. I think it might be different. And it was good. Like, it was such a good lesson. Like, he was the perfect man for that at the start.
Yeah,
like
I think so.
It gave you a different experience on communicating issues, problems. The fact that you were able to say, like, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to be exclusive, blah, 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 blah. And it was such a healthy conversation.
Yes. No, and it was. And it just, unfortunately, took a bad turn towards the end. But, you know, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, when you're having casual sex with someone, it always ends up like someone wants more than the other.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. It's just, And, you know, he was older, so I think he was kind of like, I'm ready. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And whereas I'm just like, well, fuck no, I just did that. Didn't work out. Like, no.
So with your, like, experience in dating after being married, what, like, do you have any, like, telltale signs or traits that you've picked up on when you're like, nope, I'm done, time to tap out? Like, any toxic signs in men or like controlling behaviors?
Yes.
Like, what are red flags that you've noticed that you're like, oh, time to get out?
Like how they speak about, it's always the weekend plans.
Yeah.
And it's always I'm doing, like, if I'm busy and they're not, or they're like angling at like trying to make plans with me or getting annoyed that I've got plans that aren't with them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, but also I guess like there'll come to a point where I'll meet somebody where sure, I'll probably want to include them into my weekend plans, or like, it was just that you can feel if someone's like gripping you a little too tight, you can just feel it.
Yeah. And I guess at the start we were sort of hanging out with him in the beginning because our circles were colliding.
Yeah.
And I guess it was that shift that he felt when, and it's not necessarily that you were pulling away. It's just like, we have other friends outside of
that group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just so hard. It's like, and then once you kind of experience like just a snippet of that behavior, and especially with me, and it's quite like toxic on my end, once I see it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
And it just, like turns me off and it gives me the ick, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done. And so, and then they obviously feel me feeling that way.
Yeah.
Double down.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh dear God, no. Yeah. I'm out.
They're just trying to dig their way back in.
And then I come home to you and I'm like, oh my God, this happened. You're like, and then I love it how you still try and give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You're like, oh, you know what?
I mean, he's the 14 messages in a row, but I'm like, there's still lovely messages.
Dude, when you were like, these are lovely, I was like, I'm done with you two. We don't see eye to eye anymore.
All it was, listen, the reason I had to come to his defense was because he was entitled to lick his wounds, and he was more so just speaking his mind, and whether you wanted to admit it or not, he was giving himself closure and saying his piece, and it was in a very respectful, non-aggressive way. But it was also giving you closure. It was explaining to you, because he was taking fault for a lot of things as well, which is unheard of. Like he was admitting like where he went wrong, and he was acknowledging that. It was the spiraling that continued throughout the afternoon/evening that made me go, okay, maybe let's wind it back. Someone take his phone off him. He fucking really doubled down that day. Like I never get.
No, my fucking God, I know.
I'm not
I have to chime in sometimes and fix your relationships for you.
slightest
Which is really, really alarming.
The slightest inconvenience, the smallest word change in a conversation, and I'm like, I'm done.
That was actually so fucking funny when you said that to me. And I was like, no, you've been so silly. Get out of here.
Listen, Toe Guy used the phrase hang once. And I was like,
he never uses the word hang.
What the fuck? This isn't happening. That's done.
You were like, he's used it twice now. And I was like, Cassidy, he just wants to hang out with you.
I was like, I'm not going over there anymore.
I know.
I didn't want to go. I didn't like it.
I literally you were sitting down here, literally like slouching with your arms up, and you were like, I don't feel good about this. I'm not going. And it made you reread the messages out to me. And I was like, that literally just says he wants to hang out with you.
But you want to know the best part? When he comes over for dinner the next night or whenever it was?
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. fucking not Vault here just completely exposes everything and just tells him that I was unhinged and I was spiraling, and I was surprised you didn't go into detail about him specifically using the word hang. She just completely hung me out to dry.
No, I didn't. I was on. Okay, first of all, I was very vulnerable that night.
But even you admitted, you're like, I heard myself and I just couldn't stop. The bitch just kept.
I know.
I was like, because he's sitting there being like,
all smug with himself. Yeah.
He's a very intelligent man and he gets nothing out of me.
No.
He like the amount of times he's told me that he needs vulnerability from me and like to communicate, and it's a work in progress. So Krystal here is exposing my emotions behind the scenes. So he's fucking there like, oh, yeah, and then what'd she do? Then what'd she say? What was she like? How did she look? Like, he was just fucking asking everything, and Krystal's like, la 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 la.
And my last two brain cells literally like dying on this couch with me, being like, oh yeah, she was being ridiculous.
Just any question he asked, she answered, and I'm in the background like.
But also it's hard because I fall into the trap of like, I'm so comfortable talking with Toe Guy, and I would just like chat to him like he's my friend. I'd be like, yeah, this dickhead was losing her mind. And then I was like, oh wait, you know what? She probably doesn't appreciate that this is coming out.
Yeah, because that was really lovely pillow talk I had to have that night.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good communication. It's good for you.
Oh, would you get the fuck off Toe Guy's side, please?
It's really good for you, okay?
Oh, she's just obsessed. So we met Toe Guy. We were together the night we met him.
Yeah.
But it's
hilarious.
It's fun. So
and I love it for you. You guys are literally the best balance. Like, not really. Like, you're quite similar in terms of like energy. Like, you're both crackheads.
Yeah.
Whereas like your last one, love of our life.
Oh, he was so calm.
So calm and so the opposite. He was opposite to you.
Oh my God. And like mullet man to toe guy, the contrast is just polar opposites.
Yeah, my God, it's actually scary. It's so scary. You definitely don't have a type.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's actually weird, like, and even like before Fatneck, the guy before him, his nickname was Aquaman.
I know. I've seen photos of him and I'm still shocked that you did that.
If you lined up my last 5 guys that I've been with, it's a mixed bag. It's like a Alan's party
Trail
mix.
Healthy girl.
It's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
So we've covered my relationship. Well, not relationship status.
What is your relationship status?
I'm still just seeing someone. I'm seeing toe guy.
dating.
We're not dating. I'll die on this fucking hill. We're not dating.
You are dating.
We're not dating because we're not exclusive.
But exclusive is exclusive. You're dating.
We're seeing each other.
What's the difference between seeing each other and dating?
Oscar explained it to me. Dating is more serious than seeing each other. Seeing each other, you can be sleeping with him, sleeping with other people.
Yeah, but are you?
Again,
They're dating.
We're not fucking dating. Okay, listen.
Okay.
We've established that we're not exclusive,
No.
which is fine by me.
Yeah.
Did I come across condoms in his vanity that I thought were new? Yes.
I fucking forgot about the
Did I talk to my therapist about it? Yeah, I did.
You really were like, I'm gonna have to talk to him and just say,
Oh, again.
my God,
The girl that doesn't communicate. I was like, and I didn't tell you for so long. I took like a week to tell you. I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I found fresh condoms in his vanity. Well, what I thought was fresh. And it somehow came up in my therapist because at the moment we're working on like my abandonment issues. And I just had to advise her on the current situation that I was in, that I'm in a open situation with a man that could be a little bit damaging to my healing, my progress.
Yep.
But we established that it wouldn't be because I'm in a very good place mentally. But I did mention the condoms thing and she asked how that made me feel. And I was like, listen, it made me feel a bit weird. But I was like, it wasn't the idea of him being with other people. Obviously, I don't love that idea, but we both have agreed to it. I have been on another date with another guy. Like it's fine. But I said I would appreciate some more discretion because whilst I don't mind it, I would love for it to not be flung in my face.
Yeah.
I'm fine communicating this to my therapist. The fact that I had to have this fucking conversation with Toe Guy, it set
you off.
It was, I was unwell. And the worst part is it's not even that I'm communicating with him is so safe. Like he has helped my communication so much.
He always handles every situation
He
so
really
well.
does, and it's so fucking annoying. Like,
No, it's good.
like it is good. And so I just had to like slip it into conversation, and it turns out it was no big deal. They're not new condoms.
Yeah. I've always been there.
And so I was like, cool, this is a conversation that didn't need to be had. Awesome.
Yeah, but the fact that he doesn't make you feel dumb for like
he was great. He was literally like, oh no, like that's not the situation at all. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That must have been awful. I'm so sorry that it made you feel that way. And I was like,
so healthy as well. Like for you to bring it up, like for something that bothers you, that's a really touchy, like tricky subject to try and even bring up.
Especially when you've like talked about not being exclusive.
Yeah.
So we are allowed to sleep with other people.
Exactly. So technically he didn't do anything wrong
Yeah.
anyway, but you were just like, this is giving me so much head noise that I need
It was
to
more
talk
so
about
I
it.
was just like, can you not be so careless?
Yeah.
And he was like,
just fucking clean up your shit.
yeah, and he was basically like, oh God, no, like, no, that's
You know what I find hilarious is every time you've like accused him of doing something, you're always fucking wrong, you dumb bitch. Every time, and you know what? I'm never surprised. I'm like, yeah, cool. She's going in there like, fucking get up, and you come home like, I was wrong.
I was wrong again.
And I'm like,
time.
Sure.
But it's great, and I've said this to like, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen with us. And I'm okay with that because either way, this has been a really pleasant experience for me because it's also set the benchmark high for casual situations. Like
exactly.
we're not dating, we're just sleeping together,
Yeah.
but the communication is so strong, and this is something that I will expect from all future relationships, whether
Casual or
they're
not.
casual or not. I expect this level of communication, because it does make it so much easier and so much more pleasant. That's my situation. Still sleeping with toe guy.
I'm so proud of you.
We're not dating.
I mean, it's still just makes
Am
me
I sleeping with other people? No, but can I?
Yeah.
Sure.
You're not
It's
gonna.
just not in my nature,
No,
though.
I
It
know.
really isn't. Like,
No.
fucking.
You're
Remember
good.
when
Like you think people are hot. Like
remember when I dated two guys at once, and I came home crying after every date with both of them?
I know, and I was like, fucking get a grip.
Like, it's not for me, guys. I've tried it. I've dated two lovely men.
Yep. At the same time.
One was mullet man, and
Does he know that? Dating is more intimate though. Like,
so no, I'm not sleeping with anyone else, but I could, and I might.
and that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
That freedom.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So that's my situation. Are you
Yeah.
seeing anyone at the moment?
I'm not. I'm dabbling. You know.
You're gonna lay low for a bit.
I'm gonna lay low for a bit. I mean, I'm pretty an
You kind
active
of just
lay lower. Like,
you kind of just got out of a bit of a situationship though, so I think
Yeah.
it's good that you like lay low for a bit.
But
for
I'd
a
never
while.
been on like a first like proper date before.
Yeah.
Before French boy.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember, and I almost didn't go, and I
Yeah.
gave myself head noise, and I was like, "Fuck that! Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going."
and it was the best night.
And it was literally the like best night ever.
Yeah.
And so that was good, because that experience was just like, this is fine, this is
Yeah.
fun, and it was like literally the best night ever.
First like real first date,
and
at
it was
28.
just like the best night.
Nice.
And so like I'm still talking to him. There's just lots of really nice.
Just keeping it cash.
Just keeping it cash, you know. Like obviously very single. I'm very open about like where I am, and I'm not looking for anything serious.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah, nice.
You know, just out here.
Just two single girls living it up.
Yeah, coming home with shit stories every weekend.
Fucking oath.
Fucking even weekdays at this point.
Oh God, it's a real fucking shit show in this apartment,
But
isn't
it's
it?
so nice.
It's
I
so
fucking
fun.
love coming home and being like, you know, my head noise is your head noise.
Hey, a problem shared is a problem halved. It's one of my favourite sayings. Anyway, just two hot single girls living together.
Living the dream.
Your head noise is my head noise, apparently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's news to me.
Let's make some t-shirts.
But cool. Anyway, on that lovely note, what a way to wrap the episode. This was
Fuck
a
yeah.
big episode. There was some shit covered.
Yes.
But thank you for coming on and
That's okay. Thank
and
you for having
exposing
me.
yourself.
Yeah,
It was-
this is terrible. This is a horrible idea.
This has been great. We should do it again. Honestly,
Definitely not.
there could be a sequel.
There could be. Give us 2 weeks? We'll ruin a couple more
There'll
lives.
be.
Yeah.
Listen, at my rate, I'll have something else that I'll think Toe Guy has done. I'll have more beef with him.
You're going to accuse him of locking Honey out on Saturday night.
Honestly, at one fucking point, you probably will. You know, awesome. Again, maybe we should talk about that.
No, remember that meme I sent you? And I was like, my therapy is just saying, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that is too accurate for you in your life.
Yes.
Well, I don't really know how to round this out because we
Yeah,
fucking
right.
live together, so it's just weird. But
Yeah, I'm just going to go.
thanks so much,
your
guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be kind to Krystal in the comments, and I hope you learnt something cool today.
Cool.
I don't fucking know. Anyway,
Nice.
bye, guys.
See you later.